Cancer, welcome to your weekly tarot reading. This will take you from the 16th to the 23rd of April, okay? So what have we got here? Bottom of the deck, the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords can represent an air sign person. She could be someone like a boss, an authority figure, or she's a part of you, Cancer. And what she demands of you is the ability to step back a little bit, get a higher vision of your life, and to make some necessary cuts if you need to. She has a sword and she goes forward, and the Queen of Swords is the ability to radically see what's wrong, what's right in your life, and to quite ruthlessly cut things if they need to be cut, and to make changes if they need to be changed, because her greatest honour is protecting her own being, and she'll do whatever is necessary to guard her own inner world, because she's a queen. So she pays attention to what's going on within her, and if there's anything that needs to be changed, the Queen will go forward and make those changes. The crowning card is the Three of Discs. This is a card of pulling together, working together in cooperation. So it could be some Cancers are working with this Queen, or there's a sense of having to pull some stuff together. This might be with other people, or it might be in your own life. Maybe your energies have been all over the place and you're trying to unify. It's a 3, which is a feeling that some of your destiny is not in your hands, but a feeling, Cancer, that there's some consolidation required. Actually, consolidation and unifying. Mind, body and spirit always have to be moving in harmony. Your additional guidance card is the Yang card. This is asking for action. You haven't got any other action cards. You do have the Tower card. Don't be frightened of the Tower card ever. The Tower card is about a breakthrough. Sometimes it does come as a difficult breakthrough, but only if we've been resisting change. And then the Tower is an overwhelming need to liberate ourselves. We all resist change, Cancer, okay? So the Tower, no card has any definite meaning. It's all circumstance dependent. It's the most spiritual of all cards. It's the hand of whatever word you want to use for a greater power that steps in to set us free from something. Okay, so let's look. I'll clarify it. So the first card, the Two of Swords with the Nine of Cups. Quite an interesting combination of cards, because the Nine of Cups is all about sharing. He's got all these cups filled and he wants to share his emotional self with other people. And the Two of Swords is a card of reflection and going within. It's got a golden blindfold. So it's not a card of punishment or anything. It's about looking after your inner world, Cancer. Okay, so maybe some of you have to go within to fill yourself up, so you can expand your energy from a much more fulfilled place rather than running on empty. Okay, quite an interesting combination. You then get the Ten of Wands with the World card. So 2 cards about completing a cycle. The Ten of Wands is a card that feels that you've got too many burdens, you're quite exhausted, but you're coming to the ending of something, because he's coming out of the dark night into the day. But these 10 wands can be anything. They can be too much work, they can be psychological issues, they can be carrying other people's issues. But because it's with the World card and then the Tower, there's that sense of the World is a completion card. It's the last major, which means bits of the jigsaw puzzle are coming into place. It's a major arcana, extremely powerful, that wants you to synthesize things, complete things, a bit like that three. There's a pulling together required of you, Cancer, okay? Consolidate your energies so you can move forward in a much more dynamic way. And maybe it's exhausting, or maybe you've been working so hard that you're really exhausted, and is this call to put down some of those wands? And here comes a tower. And essentially that's what the tower does. It's here to liberate us. Now, some people don't like the liberation because it represents change, okay? And some people don't want change. But I'm one of these people who just love the Tower card. And I think some of yous, I'll pull you an traditional card, but it comes with the Page of Pentacles, which is new, earthy, tangible possibilities. This could be new business, new job. I adore all the pages because they're really gentle, pulling forward energy, which wants to lead you into new beginnings. It's so healthy for the soul to follow the energy of the pages, because they're trying to get you to encourage you to become all you can be. And I'll pull you an extra card. You then end with the 9 of Discs with the 5 of Cups. And again, very contradictory energies, because the 9 of Discs is essentially the alone and loving it card. This is about someone who enjoys the fruits of being, okay? They don't need anything to make them feel happy, because they just appreciate what they have around them. They take a step back, they give gratitude, they do their daily practices, whatever they are, and they enjoy the fruits of their labour. But it's with the 5 of Cups, which is interesting, because this is a card of, it can represent a card of loss and disappointments, okay? So maybe some Cancers are taking time out to, again, reflect what's working and what's not working. What does this Queen need to cut? What do you need to be liberated from so you can move towards new life and new growth, okay? Because we're always somewhere in the process of change, okay? The new beginning of it, the middle part, and then the ending, so something new can begin. And you're in a bit of a strange week where there's a lot of awakenings, a lot of aha moments, a lot of a desire to get a bigger picture, to cut through things that aren't working, completion cards, a lot of emotional happiness, a lot of dawning. But there's still, with letting go and change, always comes a grief process, because it's part of the process, okay? So I don't know if that's what the 5 of Cups means, because it comes with Temperance. The Temperance is the middle way, it's the Buddha card. It's about it's almost saying, these two cards are almost saying, enjoy everything that you've got. If you need to spend time grieving your losses, what's not happening, then go there too. But manage it. So what I say manage it is, an example would be, if something's overpowering you, allowing yourself to go where you need to go, okay? If it's grief, if it's loss, but keeping it in check, okay? So allowing yourself to feel it without being overwhelmed with it, because that's what the Temperance card is saying. It's also saying there's a huge change in your inner world going on, okay? And when there's change in our inner world, it always involves an alchemic change, an alchemic process, which is quite often working through the energy of loss. because eventually his 5 of Cups turns into the 10. Okay, so the cups go clearer as we go along. Or there's some Cancers who are involved with a relationship, and this relationship might not be meeting your needs, Cancer. Okay, it might only be for a few people listening, because 1 minute you're the 9 and by the end of the week you're the 5. So we never really go backwards, we just go through the cycles, okay? But I think for some of you, some people, your needs are not being met by someone. For others, you are really overworking and you need to get real about what you really want in your life here. And the Queen of Swords, there cannot be a greater tool than the Queen of Swords and the Tower card to liberate our soul from the chains of that which oppresses us, because that's what the Tower and the Queen of Swords' greatest purpose is. She's dressed in purple and gold. This is a spiritual quest. It's the higher chakras. You get a higher vision of your life so the changes can be made. I think there's definitely new business potential. Something wants to be completed, and some Cancers are not getting their emotional needs met. That's what the 5 of Cups is saying. But even with that, there's a sense of wellness within you, Cancer, with that 9 of Discs and the Temperance card. But something's not quite right for some of you, okay? There's some loss going on that needs to be felt. And maybe it's making you feel a bit vulnerable and a bit exposed, but very interesting, Cancer. We'll see next week how May is about to unfold for you. And I wish you all the best. Loads of love. Bye.